What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News. And I have some new news concerning Dillian the Body Snatcher Whyte and his rival, his British rival, Anthony Joshua. You know, I've read in articles that Dillian Whyte, is talking about Anthony Joshua, trolling Joshua. The latest, Joshua didn't want to fight. Kubrat Pulev is a half vegetable. If he wanted to fight me, he would have fought me in Wembley instead of New York. Why didn't he fight Jarrell Miller or Andy Ruiz in Wembley? And a lot of things like that. And, let me break it down to you. I know they're rivals, but I think Dillian Whyte has a chip on his shoulder because I think he talks just as much about Anthony Joshua than he does Dillian Whyte with the WBC, which he is ranked the #1 interim champion, being the mandated challenger for the longest until the sanctioning bodies, or should I say the powers that be, pull something and all of a sudden he's not allowed to fight, okay? That's not Deontay Wilder's problem, and that's not Anthony Joshua's problem, okay? Is Dillian Whyte shitted on by the WBC? Yes, we know that. He was shitted on a few times, okay? But does that mean that Anthony Joshua, a guy that he's already fought, does that guarantee or means that he should fight Anthony Joshua because of what's going on in WBC? No. To break things down the best I know how, Dillian Whyte already fought Anthony Joshua. When they fought for a British title, not a world title. They were both undefeated at the time, okay? It was a sellout crowd at the O2 Arena. The rivalry was strong. You could see the first round and could tell these guys had bad beef, okay? A riot almost broke out in the fight after the first round. Anthony Joshua knocked out Dillian Whyte. It wasn't a Dillian Whyte, Derek Chisora situation. It wasn't, oh man, I think that Dillian Whyte actually won that first fight. It was nothing like that. Yes, he hurt Anthony Joshua. Could he finish Joshua? Apparently not. He got knocked out. And a lot has happened since then. Have they got better? Both of them have got better, yes. But Dillian Whyte is not a champion. He's an interim champion, right? But he's not the belt holder. He's not a world championship holder. Regardless of what happened to him, regardless of the things that people have done to him, discriminated against him, what have you, screwed over him completely. I get it. But again, that's Dillian Whyte's problem, okay? So whether he decided to walk away from the negotiations, and I agree with him, I tell you that, but it doesn't matter about my opinion when it comes to that. It doesn't matter about his. It matters that the fight was offered to him, okay? And I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to ride that bandwagon of that narrative that Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua lowball their fighters. He was trying to do that. Because around that time, people were still throwing that $50 million that Anthony Joshua was supposed to, turn down or ran out of or whatever, or refused or ducked or whatever. He was trying to use that angle to sway Anthony Joshua into a fight and Eddie to give him more money. But then he said it wasn't enough time in Wembley Stadium. But then it wasn't enough money. He wasn't going to get the lion's share if he beats him, and so he was looking more towards business, and really he sold himself short because Dillian Whyte, he has a great resume, a very good resume, okay? It's better than most heavyweights, but he is not a title holder. Does he sell tickets? Yes, he does, but again, he is not a title holder. He's not on AJ's level. He should know that. There won't be a fighter like Anthony Joshua in the heavyweight division. If there was one created, it would have already been that fighter that was there at AJ's level already in the heavyweight division. Maybe Deontay Wilder could have been that person, but his career wasn't promoted the right way to be like AJ in that position he's at right now. He's probably the highest paid boxer, period. They offer you a lion's share, or they offer you a certain amount of money. They get the lion's share. And I feel that Dillian Whyte also wants other people or other parties to understand and to sympathize with him with what's going on with the WBC, like Anthony Joshua. So because he got a shitty deal with Deontay Wilder with the WBC, that means that other people should oblige. You know, I feel like that's what he wants. He wants people to understand, man, I've been shitted on, you know, with Fury, because, you know, he's supposed to fight Fury. You know, Deontay Wilder didn't fight him, called him a peasant. You know, Dominic Breazeale got the opportunity before him. Then he gets, you know, caught up in this UCAD situation with the drug test, right? Now, I think he wanted people to, or those other parties like Joshua, to like to feel sorry for him. They don't know, and they don't care. Joshua doesn't care, and he's not high on the list of opposition. Sure, he would fight Dillian Whyte again, but why would he? He already knocked him out. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's more like an Amir Khan versus Kell Brook type fight. Okay, the only difference is these dudes have already done it. So it shouldn't be that, oh, let's see that fight. Me personally, I'm sick of redos. I hate the idea of Fury and Wilder 3. You know what I mean? I think Wilder should have just stepped down and never asked for that fight. I'm just tired of seeing the same fights. So I wouldn't want to really see that fight. I would rather see an Ortiz, Dillian Whyte any day than see an AJ and Dillian Whyte too. You know what I mean? I saw that fight. We can look that fight up on YouTube. It's probably on the Zone too. I've seen what could happen. So there's no doubt that I know that Anthony Joshua can knock out Dillian Whyte because he showed us. And look, there's not a such thing as erasing the past. Okay? You can't erase the fact that Joshua knocked out Dillian Whyte. That's why I get it. Dillian Whyte wants that fight so bad. But at the end of the day, he's already been there and done that. And then he has nothing to bring to the table. You're talking about a guy with 12 endorsements, right? 3 belts, 4 belts. Highest paid heavyweight boxing athlete. Probably highest paid, period. What do you have to offer him? Right? You have nothing to offer him. Now, if Dillian Whyte was to fight and beat whoever's holding the WBC belt, that's a whole different situation, because now, okay, the fight's on. You have something to bring to the table. You have this to bring to the table. I have the WBC. You want it, come get it. That he could do, but he doesn't have that. And no, Joshua doesn't want the fucking interim silver belt either. I don't care if it looks just like the belt that Deontay Wilder had, that Tyson Fury has now. Does not matter. What matters is Dillian Whyte is a guy that has to keep fighting. He's not as popular, so he has to keep fighting and keep his status quo and beating these top guys out there like Oscar Rivas and, you know, those type dudes. You know, and I was impressed with that anyway, but he got caught with an uppercut in that fight. You know, but it showed that, hey, yes, he can get up. Yes, he has heart. Yes, he can fight. Right? But no, that's my counterpunch on that, man. I mean, there's really nothing more to say. Yes, the beef will be there because Joshua is the guy that beat Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte ain't lost since, and he never lost before that either. So yes, he wants that fight, but he has to understand at what cost. He has to learn how to take a sacrifice. And if we know anything about Dillian Whyte, him walking away from that deal of fighting Joshua, that could have been him. He could have been that guy that is on the billboard, on the marquee right now, if he would have beat Joshua. But he didn't take the fight. Okay? He walked away from the fight, period. So we have to understand that he decided, regardless of what the terms were, the fight was offered to him for millions of dollars, or, in the UK they say pounds, okay? And that wasn't enough. Okay, he didn't like the deal. But you can't complain about it later on. You know what I mean? Because what's going to happen if he says, okay, Dillian, I'm gonna pass on my mandatory just to fight you, to accommodate you. Here's $5 million. And he says, no, that's not enough, man. Okay, so what are we even talking about? You know what I mean? Because the money wasn't enough for Dillian Whyte, right? And we know by the Andy Ruiz situation that a renegotiation can take place. Andy Ruiz had a set amount for the rematch if he won, and he did win, but he did manage to get more money, didn't he? So there you go. Anyway, that's my take on it. You guys tell me what you think about the beef between Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua. Leave your comments below. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.